Hello friends, in this session we will be discussing another important concept in research, that is research design. What do you mean by research design? It is the structure in which a research has to be carried out. It talks about what the research is about, where it has to be conducted, what type of data we needed, and how this data should be analyzed and interpreted. All these factors will be taken into consider in research design. In research design, we have to consider two important things. First is economic viability of the research, and the second is the time constraint. It should not be like, you started in some day and it will end in some day. It should be time bound, and we should also consider the budget factor also. The next important thing is it gives an idea of how a research should to be carried out, how the selection of data should be done, how the collection of information should be done, how this information should be interpreted. It also comprises of all the steps. It includes all the steps from the very beginning of writing the hypothesis to the interpretation of the data and giving the conclusion. So, it comprises all the steps: collection of data, sampling, then using the techniques, data analysis, interpretation, report writing, giving conclusion and recommendation. So, it is the blueprint of the research. When you are doing research, you have to consider certain factors. So, in this session, we will be discussing this. When you are conducting a research, we should always remember that the research should give a multi-dimensional perspective. It should provide an opportunity for further study, further investigation. So, we have to include all the stakeholders, multiple stakeholders into the picture. So, in research design, we are doing this. We are taking all the stakeholders into consideration, and we are doing all the dimensions. We are studying all the dimensions of the particular subject. So, we have to think what the subject need to be studied, where it has to be studied, and what type of data we needed, and how this data should be interpreted, and so on. A research design has four parts: sampling design, statistical design, observational design, and operational design. Now, let us discuss one by one. Sampling design. As you know that when we are doing research, we are taking a particular population, but we cannot study the entire population. Even if we spend our whole lifetime, we won't be able to do it. So, what we are doing is we will take a representative unit of the particular population, that is termed as sample. In sample design, we are doing this. We are through certain conditions and through certain observations, we are taking a representative unit of the total population, and we are studying this as sample. So, in sampling design, we are doing this. What type of population we needed and how the representational unit should be selected. Second is operational design. Before operational design, we should consider observational design. In observational design, we are taken into consider the data collection part. How the data should be collected, what type of techniques, what type of strategy should we use to collect the data, to gather the information. Next is statistical design. As all of you know that when we collected the data, it is actually a raw material, it is a raw data. So, we have to sort this data into different components or different conditions, then only we will be able to analyze the data. So, in statistical design, we are using different statistical methods to analyze these particular data that we collected during the process of research. So, it talks about the statistical techniques, tools, the methods, the strategies that we are going to use to interpret or to analyze this particular data. Next is operational design. In operational design, we are using the techniques and we are increasing the reliability and feasibility of the particular analyzed data. In this also we uses certain techniques and tools to make it operational. We are seeing the theory part and the practical side of the research design, research proposal. So now we will move to the characteristics of research. In the case of characteristics of research, the research should have a time-bound structure. It should also take into consider cost of the research. Otherwise, it won't be affordable for us. It won't be economically feasible for us. So these two constraints that we have to take into consider. The research design should give the maximum information. For that, we have to take maximum sample possible for us. We have to reduce the bias. Here comes the qualities of a good research design. A research design will become a good one or a better research design only when it will give you very small experimental error. That can only be possible if you take a better quantity of sample and you do the analysis in using statistical tools and techniques which is accurate. The result should be accurate. It should have reliability and replicability. It should also provide opportunity. It should be problem solving in nature. It should have minimum bias and it should give maximum information. So these are some of the important qualities a research design must have. And more or less, there is the expert who is taking this research design should have particular expertise in which he is going to carry out the research. For example, a social scientist should choose a topic with respect to a social science topic in which he has or she has the expertise. Now we will move to the next session. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like our video, please give me a thumbs up and comment. Please do subscribe and share our channel. Thank you for listening.